What year are you?
Freshman.
Give me a buck. Get it.
Go for it, Rob. What'd you expect? 16 candles? No, it's the Golf Kingdom. It's 18 holes, and we've got a great show for you. Let's bring in our blueprint. We're going to start off with our Build It segment, where I'm going to help you with your turn using a simple pair of sunglasses. We're going to follow that with the Keep It Simple Strano segment, and then follow it up with pop culture. Yeah, we're going to go hokey pokey to help your short game. I'm going to teach you what to put in and what to take out of chipping to help you play better there. Then we're going to come back with X-Putt technology. You're not going to want to miss the putting segment where we go X-Putt to help you there. And then we're going to go swing analysis and talk about Dustin Johnson's golf swing. That's going to be really cool. And at the end, as always, it's time to rise, where I'm going to talk about, do you really want to give your opinion or not? You're not going to want to miss that time to rise segment. Are you ready? Because it's time to build here in the Golf Kingdom.
Welcome to the #1 golf variety show in the world, the Golf Kingdom. Are you ready to build your game? Here's your host, Rob Strano.
Okay, so let's get this show going. How about it? We're going to start off with a Build It segment, and I'm going to talk to you about how to get better shoulder turn in your swing, and I'm going to explain kind of the wrong move and give you a fun drill to get the right move. Because I see some players out there that are struggling with to get the shoulders in the right spot. How do they have to do it? And I've got a couple simple thoughts that'll help you get there right off the bat here. So let's get about building a better shoulder turn. Daredevil, come to the big screen here. So shoulder turn. Let me explain what shoulder turn is not. Shoulder turn is not a rocking of the shoulders up and down. I see some players, they think they've turned their shoulders and they've done this action right here. But if you're watching the simple buttons on my shirt, you can see they're still looking straight ahead at the camera. So that's not really a shoulder turn. A shoulder turn is also not a tilt and lean, where I tilt and lean this way. This is not a shoulder turn either, where I'm heavy on my lead foot. A shoulder turn is simply, if you want to think about it this way, taking your lead shoulder and placing it over the trail foot while turning your back to your target. So simply a shoulder turn would be, I'm going to cross my arms, I'm going to bring the lead shoulder to my trail shoe and turn my back that way. If I'm coming at the camera, coming at you at home, I'm going to get myself here, put this shoulder over my trail shoe, and you're going to see the back of my shirt looking right at you. The hard thing about it is, how do you reference this? How, when you're standing there taking practice swings, how do you get a feel for this actual move? Well, we can use a simple pair of sunglasses to help you get a frame of reference for where you're going and how you get this. And it's very important, because if you can't get loaded up behind it, you got nothing to hit with coming through. You got no punch in your swing. If you're just kind of doing this, there's no punch going forward. So everybody out there, it's looking for more distance, looking for more power, looking for more speed. Let's get our shoulders wound into the right spot here, and that'll help you get that power and speed you're looking for. Now, our drill, our sunglass drill to help you get this. Here we go. I got a pair of sunglasses here, and normally I'd put them like this, or if I'm being cool, I'll put them up here like on my helmet, you know, if they'll stay right there. That's normally where they are, but we're going to use them in a different way. So everybody, grab your sunglasses, get off your couch. Yeah, I'm you, Pat in Arizona, you in Phoenix. Get off your couch. Come on, we're all going to do this together. It's an all skate. Get your sunglasses, and you're going to put them right in the neck of your shirt like you would normally. Now, I'm probably going to clank up against my microphone, so sorry for any extra noise this creates. But I'm going to put the sunglasses right here on the collar of my shirt or your pullover or whatever you got on. And all I'm going to think about is, as I swing back or turn back, I'm going to make the sunglasses look behind me that way. It's a pretty simple thought, isn't it? I'm going to take these eyes and make them look this way. At the same time, this shoulder's got to move over here to this back foot. So real simple, I'm standing here, arms are crossed in front of me, shoulders, lead shoulder to the foot, sunglasses look behind me. See it? The sunglasses are over there. Let me do it to the camera now. I'm turned sideways, watch for the sunglasses. See, sunglasses looking right at you at home. It's a great simple way for you to get the shoulders in position. This shoulder's got to travel a little bit, your head's going to move a little, and the glasses will look behind you. So if you have a big mirror at home, get your glasses, get in your mirror, watch yourself. Get here, make the glasses look back and say, how does that feel? This is a super simple way to get yourself in the right position going back, to deliver the club with more accuracy and more power to the ball. You'll feel like when you get here, you've got a lot of time to get the club down, get it lined up, get it aimed where you want it to go, and I'll tell you what, your power is going to increase and you're going to hit it a lot farther. Well, leave it to Animal to jump the shark on us here and introduce the KISS segment before I can. Yeah, KISS, Keep It Simple Strano. It's our KISS segment. Mwah! Something easy to help your game. And this is something that is really important in golf, but it's really important in all sports. And it's where do you have your pressure on your feet at setup? It's indicative of all sports. I don't care if we're playing football, baseball, basketball, tennis, golf, anything. Anything we do, we want to be athletic. And if we want to be athletic, we've got to be on the balls of our feet. We want to be athletic this way. We never want to be on our heels. There's a saying in sports that you'll hear on TV broadcasts that say they've had this team on their heels the whole game. Well, that just means they're just steamrolling them and the score's like 45-0. You never want to be to your heels in sports. You never want to be to your heels setting up to hit a golf ball. Now, I'm going to explain an easy way to checkpoint that and get it right in your game. That's why it's the KISS segment. So let's come down to the foot view here. So I see a lot of players at setup. They get set up and they're wiggling their toes and tapping their toes, just like this. That would mean I'm on my heels. If I can tap my toes, I'm too far to my heels. You watch good players. Watch them when you watch the tournaments on TV. We're tapping our heels in the setup. That gets us on the balls of our feet. Just imagine as you look at me, I could be playing any sport here with my tapping on my heels. I could be playing basketball. I could be the middle linebacker in football. I could be at the plate in baseball. All these things, it's simple. Tap your heels, not wiggle your toes. That's your Keep It Simple Strano tip to make sure you're athletic and ready to hit the golf ball when you get in there. Well, how about you join me with a little pop culture here to help your chipping? And if you don't mind, I'm going to sing a little bit because we're going to use the Hokey Pokey dance to help your game. Yeah, you put your right foot in, you put your right foot out. That's what we're going to talk about to help you understand how to set up to chip better, because you know what? I see a lot of players warming up, getting ready to go out on the golf course, and they're practicing around the short game area, and the golf ball's going everywhere. And I'm looking at them going, you know what? They just simply don't know how to set up to hit a chip shot. So Hokey Pokey, who would have thought that dance can help you set up to chip the ball better? Let's get after it here. So I'm going to grab just a club here. I'm going to grab an 8-iron to help us chip with. So get up. We're going to do the Hokey Pokey together. Feel free to dance. Feel free to sing along with me. So first thing, Hokey Pokey. We put the right foot in. Okay, so let's talk about how we put the right foot in a chip. I'm going to bring a ball. Let's just get a ball in here to make it official. So got a golf ball there. I'm going to put the right foot in, Hokey Pokey. When I put the right foot in, I want to point the ball just off the instep of my right foot. So the ball is going to be just right on the inside of my right foot. And this will be for like a little low running chip shot, not a high one. This is one of the few times the ball will be back of center on your stance. So if I draw a line from the ball that's perpendicular to my target line, it's going to go just on the inside of my trail shoe. So you put the right foot in. Now the second part, you flare the left foot out. So here we go. You put the right foot in, you flare the left foot out. Not straight, the left foot flares out. So why does the left foot flare out? Why can't I put it in straight? Well, when you flare the left foot out, it allows me to turn over that foot as I move. I've got to swivel my shoulders through. If the foot stays square, it's going to shove me backwards. If you find yourself backing up when you chip, that's because this foot is more than likely straight. So I put the right foot in, I flare the left foot out. Now I'm in the correct position to chip from, a little left foot lean. Now the last piece of the Hokey Pokey, I shove the right hip out, and now I've got my setup. So I'm nice and level, right hip feels up and out, left foot's flared, right foot's perpendicular to the line. Now I'm in a good position to chip and let the club just kind of rise and fall into the ball. So Hokey Pokey, you put your right foot in, you flare your left foot out. All these little things help you set up correctly to chip. And it's funny, I've had players that have come to me set up poorly. They've done these 3 simple little Hokey Pokey moves, and all of a sudden their short game has gotten a ton better, and they're not worried about blading it or hitting it fat anymore because their setup is correct to play this shot. It's about playing shots. This isn't about full swing. This is about understanding how to hit a chip shot. Now, stay tuned because we're going to go putting next, and we're going to use the X-Putt technology to improve your putting. You don't want to miss what's coming next on The Golf Kingdom.
My mom actually was a nurse at St. Jude. She would come home and tell us the stories of all the children that she got to work with on a daily basis. We were taught and raised that we all exist here on this planet to benefit others. That's how my wife and I feel when we give to St. Jude every month. Our giving is right up there with our mortgage. That's the priority that we put on giving to St. Jude.
You want a golf tip that will really make this game easier? Okay, here's mine. The fastest way to get good is by finding a great coach. And the fastest way to find that person is through golfchannelacademy.com. It'll match you up with the best coaches in your area. And now you can even schedule a new student assessment. So, what are you waiting for? Schedule a training session with your local coach, Rob Strano from Strano Golf Academy in Destin, Florida at stranogolf.com.
Welcome back to the Golf Kingdom, and we've got our XPET technology here in our PSA segment. Normally PSA is public service announcement. Well, this is your putting service announcement. Yes, critical information to help you putt better. And we've got the XPET technology. And a reminder, this cool data we're going to get, things like impact angle, putter path, launch direction, is going to help us explain what happens in putting. So, if I get up there and just hit a normal putt, just normal little 10-footer going right at the hole, get there, baby. How about that? Bang right in. See, I get my launch direction of 0.6, my putter path 0.6, impact angle 0.6, my path 0.6 into out. So anything under 1.0 at 10 feet is pretty darn good. But what I told you is we're going to give you something to fix something you're hearing in putting, which is I hear players being told all the time, take the putter back straight, keep the putter square, and then let it release coming through. Well, on straight putts, if you know you're aimed good and you're hitting it solid and you're missing left, chances are that bit of advice is killing your putting stroke. I'm going to explain why. Let's go to the low view here, Daredevil. I'm going to bring the ball in, get it in position. Let's explain what happens. When the putter comes back too straight, so I'm going to bring it straight back at the camera, keep the face square. Here's what happens. I come back straight, keep it at the camera, let it release left. Look at this putt. It's going to go left and miss left. Now, let's look at the data, because remember, the face was square and we released it. So now it's going to go left. So our impact angle is left 3.5. Our launch direction is left 3.4. Now remember, at 10 feet, anything above a degree, anything above 1.0 is going to miss. My putter path at 0.6 is pretty much straight through. It's not too bad. I'm not too much in to out. I'm not too much out to in. But when the putter comes back straight, come back to me here, Daredevil. When the putter comes back too straight and square and then releases, that face is snapping to the left. And that's why you're missing left. Remember, the putter needs to work a little bit like a windshield wiper to work on the angled plane. A putter sits on an angled plane. Sometimes the lie angle is 71, 70, 69. It just depends on how you have yours bent. But this angled plane requires the putter to move back inward a little bit, come back to square, and come forward and work inward a bit. So if you're coming back too straight and that putter's then releasing, it's going left. So once again, go into the low view here. Here's the putter coming back too straight at the camera. That face is straight at the camera. I'm going to go through and let it release normally like I would. And there it goes left again. And once again, looking at our data, we had impact angle of 2.7, launch of 2.8. That is way, way, way too much. That's above our 1.0. So now if I can get in here in a normal putt, I've been focused on this straight stuff now. Let's see if I can make my normal stroke. Let's see how close I can get to doing it after messing it up. So the low view, Daredevil, here we go. That putter's going to come in a little bit, arc through a little bit, 10-footer straight ahead, buckets right in there again. Look at this launch direction, 0.0. You put up 0.0s on putter with a launch angle of 0.1, you're not going to miss much. So come back to me, Daredevil. This has been your PSA, your putting service announcement. Wipe all this out of your brain, this straight back, keep it square stuff. It's messing you up. Let the putter arc in. Let the face feel like it opens a little bit. It really isn't, because it's working on the angled plane. Work on that. I'll tell you better yet, come see me for a putting lesson. You got one of your best putting coaches in the Panhandle right here. Come on, see me. I tell you what, I'll teach you how to do this, and you'll make a ton of putts when you go play. Well, one of the fun things we do as coaches is analyze golf swings. Whether they are 30 handicappers or tour players, we love looking at them and seeing what are the interesting things they do that make them a great player or maybe make them struggle. In this case, I've got a great player here. I've got Dustin Johnson, one of the top American players in the world. And what's interesting about this is this video is off angle. It's not straight down the line, and it's not dead face on. It's kind of a crooked little off angle. And sometimes from these little off angles, we can see some interesting things maybe a little more clearly and explain them a little more better. And that helps us kind of get an idea of why Dustin Johnson does what he does. And if you do it like him, then you kind of match him. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the video to the top of the backswing here. And I'm going to talk about his unique top of the backswing position. So here goes the video. His swing's going to come back. And as you see at the top of his backswing, he looks a little different than this position at the top where my hands, my knuckles are to the sky and my wrist is flat or maybe even a little cupped here. He has got a very strong bowed lead wrist. When he does that, the club face gets very, very pointed to the sky. So as you look at this position here, you can see that lead wrist is very bowed. It's like this, and that club face is dead to the sky. So that's a very strong shut position. If he were to swing down and come down and not turn his hips at all, he would hit the biggest hook you've ever seen in your life, especially at the speed he can move. I mean, the ball would literally almost go past his left knee over here. It'd be an amazing shot because of that strong face. But that's not what he does, which is why he's a great player. And the important thing to realize is he's got to be really strong to be in this position and do what he does. Now, let's run him down to impact, and you're going to see his hips open aggressively, and bang, right there at impact, you can see his hips are wide open. So if I'm hitting the ball at the camera, you can see hips wide open at impact. And you also see the trail elbow right here. Look at his trail elbow right there. It's bent. By bending the elbow, it limits the amount of twisting of the arm that he can do, keeps the club face stable. So the combination of hard rotation of the hips, holding elbow bend, helps him stabilize the club face and take him through to the finish now. And he's got a great finish to his swing, full and released. So one more time, run him through this swing. Here we go. Going back, you're going to see that club get to the top. Here he goes. Going back, the club is going to come back. Going to see the bowed wrist at the top right there. Strong club face. Now bring him down to impact. Watch that right elbow stay bent. The hips are open. He goes through to the finish. That's what Dustin Johnson has to do with the strong face and the bowed wrist to hit a solid shot and control the face. So if you find your face shut at the top, maybe not the bowed wrist, but it's shut, you've got to get your hips clear and hold your elbow bend in order to hit solid golf shots. Well, it's time for It's Just Hot Air, where I talk about the myths and misconceptions of golf, brought to you by our friends at Executive Air and Refrigeration. Now, the myths and misconceptions of golf. Boy, I hear them all the time, and I get all my material for this segment from the players I coach. They'll say something, and I'll go, where did you hear that? That's not true. And I've got another one that I've heard, I bet, 5 times in the last month. It is the same thing. It's about ball position with a short iron. And I've got a ball here. I've got my Bubba Whips alignment stick down. It's pointed right dead at the camera. And here's what we got to understand. The club face has to get square at impact or close to it to hit a good shot. It can't be 20 degrees open and it can't be 20 degrees closed. So if you think about a windshield wiper, if the ball's in a good spot, the face points, somewhat straight ahead. If it's too far back, it points way to the right. And it's the too far back thing I've heard. I've said, where should the ball position be with a short iron? And they've all said back of center. So I've got players hitting short irons back here, and they're wondering why the ball is missing off to the right if they're a right-handed player. Well, it's because with the ball back, if that's the face can't get square. Simple way to find short iron ball position. Smack yourself on the lead cheek. In fact, smack yourself hard. Ooh, okay, it was a little too hard, but smack yourself nonetheless. Short iron ball positions, put them on your lead cheek. So when I get set up to this short iron, it's on my lead cheek right here. So you can see it, it's right over the stick. That way, when the club comes in and I've got the shaft lean, that face has a chance to get square, and I'm not taking a deep, gougy divot. Remember, ball position, lead cheek. It's never back of center for a full swing. Never, ever, ever. Fix this, and you're going to hit better short iron shots. Alexa, open Golf Kingdom.
Welcome to Golf Kingdom. Here's your golf tip of the day.
Welcome to the Golf Kingdom. I am your host, Rob Strano, and here is today's Pro Pointer.
Alexa, stop. If you want more pro pointers from me via your Amazon-enabled skill at the Golf Kingdom, be sure to go there and enable it. Every day I give you a new tip, free, with your Amazon-enabled device. So enable the Golf Kingdom and you'll get a tip from me, your host, Rob Strano, every day.
2.
Welcome back to the Golf Kingdom, and it's time for strategy. Yes, a little golf strategy to help your game. And remember, without a plan, there is no attack. Without attack, there is no victory. So we have to have a solid plan to get out there and play these golf holes. And one thing we're going to talk about is which side of the tees do you put the ball on to start the hole? If you curve the ball right to left or hit a draw if you're a right-handed player, where do you tee the ball up, on the right or the left, and why? And if you fade it or slice it, which side of the tee do you tee the ball up on, and why? I've got 2 holes, one a dog leg left, one a dog leg right, to explain and help you see that. Let's bring up the first hole here on the screen. So what I've got here is, I've got a hole that's a little dog leg right around a lake. And so if you're a left to right player, you slice it or fade it, you want to tee up, the tee's right here, you want to tee up on the right side of the tee so you've got maximum room to fit the curve of your ball in. If you tee up on the left, you don't have maximum room. You're going to have a stranger angle. The angle's not going to be this way, your angle's going to be that way, and you're going to find you have to aim further left to not hit it in the water on this hole. Now, let's flip to the next hole. It's a dog leg to the left, a hole that favors a draw. Now, if you're a right to left player, you want to get yourself, here's the tee, you want to get yourself on the left side of the tee so you can use your maximum curve of your draw to fit it into this hole. Very important to understand, if you get on the right side of the tee, your ball's not going to be able to start far enough up the right, and if you turn it over a little too much, you've got the bunker and a little lake here on the left. So right to left players, get on the left side of the tee, let that ball curve this way. If you're a slicer or a fader, you're going to get on the right side of the tee to maximize the angle. This has been your strategy. Use this. Get it right, and you'll find your plan on your holes will be much better, and you'll have lower scores. One of our great sponsors is TaylorMade Golf, and this is your TaylorMade Equipment segment where I talk about something your equipment can help you do to hit the ball better. And we're going to come to the tight view here, Daredevil, show you this. So on your iron, you have scoring lines. Okay, yeah, they're there to help you collect the grass and stuff to get spin on the ball, okay? But they're also there to help you aim the club. So when you hold the club straight out, you can look at the scoring lines, and the scoring lines can go up and down. If I open the face, the scoring lines go that way. If I close the face, the scoring lines go this way. So very important that we understand that. We can use these to understand if I have the club gripped correctly in my hands. Now, Daredevil, come back to the wide view here. Here's how this works. And I do it every time I walk in to hit a golf shot. If I'm going to hit a shot this way, when I walk in, I've got my grip, and I turn this way, and the balls, let's put a ball down here. Make it so you guys can see the golf ball. If I'm going to hit that ball and I turn in, I have the club in front of me, and I'm looking at the scoring lines to make sure they're straight up and down and perpendicular, what's a hard word to say? Perpendicular to the ground. So I'm turning, scoring lines perpendicular to the ground, and I just drop them in behind the ball, and I know I'm pretty square. If I hold that club up and I see the scoring lines going that way and I bring it down, well, golly, they are definitely not perpendicular to my target line. They're open. If I do that with it and bring it down, those are closed. So use the lines on the face. Hold the club up in front of you. Maybe you're behind the ball getting ready to walk in. Hold that club up in front of you in your grip. Take your hands, put them on there the way you're going to have them when you hit the ball. Look at those lines. Yeah, those are straight up and down. They point to the ground. I'm going to walk in and hit it. Now turn, and there I go. I've got the lines nice and square in my hands. Use these as a cheat. Yeah, your equipment can help you cheat and get set up square. You don't have to worry about when you get up here with one hand on the club and now you're fiddling around and you're fiddling with your grip trying to get it right. No, put both hands on there. Check. Make the lines go up and down. Get in there, put the line straight down. They're perpendicular to your target line. Get set, and then you're ready to go. Your equipment, your tailor-made equipment will help you with the scoring lines, get set up better, and hopefully get your accuracy a little tighter when you go play. Well, I'm going to share a little personal story here in the Time to Rise segment, and it involves my time as a tour player. Now, as tour players, we get asked our opinion on all kinds of different things, from what do we think of other players, to what do we think of this or that, whatever it is. And in life, you get asked your opinion on stuff too. I'm going to share a life lesson I learned as a tour player. And this goes back to when Casey Martin had petitioned the Supreme Court to use a golf cart in competition. And I got asked what I thought as a player of that, and not knowing Casey, I said immediately, he should have to walk like the rest of us. Now, I happened to be playing in the tour event when he got the Supreme Court ruling, and it was crazy. There were TV helicopters circling the driving range. It was incredible. But he got the ruling that said he got to use a cart in competition. And my son was traveling with me at that time, and we were in the locker room that evening after he had done all the press conferences, and we were coming in after practicing, and we walked up to him in his locker. I knew I was going to see him at the Bible study on tour that night, and I asked him this question. After we congratulated him, of course, I said, Casey, was there a verse you leaned on during this that helped you get through it? And he said this to me. He quoted Psalm 50:15, which says, call on me in times of trouble, I will rescue you and you will honor me. I've heard, I will lift you up and you will glorify me in what you do also. But that told me a lot about his heart. He didn't want an advantage in a cart, which he really didn't have because of his leg. He just wanted an opportunity. And I learned something that day. I learned, unless I have knowledge or unless I personally know the person, you know what? I don't have an opinion. You can ask me, but I'll tell you, you know what? I don't know that person. Maybe I've seen them, maybe I've been around them, and I've seen them be nothing but nice and gracious, but I don't have a personal opinion. So run your opinions through that little strainer and see if you don't have a different thought about answering about your opinion about something maybe you don't know or about a person that you don't know, and that might change whether you answer or not. Thanks again for joining me in another fun episode of the Golf Kingdom. It wasn't quite 16 candles and it wasn't quite 18 holes, but we got you some great stuff to help your game. As always, jump on out on social media and follow us on all the platforms there. The shows are on YouTube, but more importantly, if you're a Roku or Amazon Fire user, download the Golf Kingdom channel on Roku and Amazon, and you can watch all the past shows there and not miss anything fun we've done in the Golf Kingdom. And as always, if you have an Alexa-enabled device, ask Alexa to enable the Golf Kingdom, and you'll get a tip from me, your host, Rob Strano, every day. Thanks again for joining me here on the Golf Kingdom. Them there peoples, you peoples learning putting? You people's learning putting out there?